All right, Brock Howard Shai. All right, I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I also want to say peace and blessings, salutations to the elect. I was a Zahab, Spirit Wind Judah. And today I want to go into basically that, man, and basically modern day slavery. Because a lot of Israelites will argue that they're not in slavery, yet they're forced to go to work every day to pay for their necessities, man. All right. And this is really for younger brothers too, because not just for like brothers that's young in the spirit, but brothers that's they might be young in their actual age, and they hadn't got out on their own yet, but they're in the process of getting out on their own, man. And I think it'll behoove brothers to understand the nature of the system that's over us, man. The nature of Esau's kingdom, man. All right, because there's several traps, and one of the traps that you may have got untangled from is so-called black culture, the hood stuff, man. All right, you might have grew up poor and you end up selling drugs, Esau's drugs to your people, or you were just being a straight up nigga, man. But through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Hawashai, you got out of that trap. But the other trap is more of a national trap, and Esau is affected by it as well. It's called debt. All right, so a lot of times people fall for this trap because they weren't conditioned or they weren't cultured to get out of this trap. All right, because why would the kingdom tell you how not to get caught up in its traps? You see, why would the kingdom tell you how not to be a slave if they thrive off of you being a modern day slave? And that slavery is debt slavery, man. All right, so with that, I'm just going to get the scriptures. This is Sirach 18:33. Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, when thou hast nothing in thy purse, for thou shalt lie in wait for thy own life and be talked on. So what's one way that you're made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, man? How could this be applied to in a modern sense? Borrowing money, a loan. When you get a loan, somebody loans you something, you're borrowing that money. All right, because you have to pay it back with interest. All right, when you get a credit card, that's money borrowed, and you have to pay it back in payments. You have to pay off that balance. All right, and a lot of Israelites don't know how to use a credit card because they weren't taught. So a lot of times they'll get a credit card and pay the bulk of that balance. I mean, they'll spend the most of the money on the balance, man. All right, that's borrowing money, but now you owe that money back. All right, same thing with a loan. If you have enough money to make a monthly payment on a loan that you took out, that they're going to make you pay interest on, and that's how they make their money. If you have enough money to do that, that means that you have enough money to save every month until you reach your financial goal, whatever that thing you was trying to buy. You could actually save money per paycheck, man. All right, and it's scriptural. And this is the dodge. You basically accumulating debt, man. All right, when thou has nothing in thy purse. So it'll behoove you. That's why it says also in Sirach, in the time of basically prosperity, think upon poverty, man. That's why if you have money, never spend 100% of what you have. All right, always put money back for the time of affliction, so you won't have to go out and get a loan, man. All right, now circumstances cause you to do so. It is what it is, but a prudent man foreseeth the evil. That's why I'm telling this to brothers that's basically not so experienced, that hadn't gone through this already, so they won't have to go through it, man. You'll save a lot of sorrows, save yourself a lot of sorrows by basically having enough discipline to save your money. All right, and putting money back. If you put money back, you don't have to really get loans like that, man. All right. From there, I'm going to get Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender, man. So who's the rich? It's the elites. It's the bankers. That's why they're called the bankers. They have banks to get you in debt. All right, whether it's a mortgage or you got to go out and get a loan to get a car payment, you're paying a bank. When you get a mortgage, you're paying a bank. The word mortgage means death pledge, or your dead pledge. You're dead or you're subject to a pledge, so you pay off those loans, man. So you pay that bank off, man. And that'll be 20, 30, 40 years from now, which you will never see, man. You just dug yourself a hole. All right. That's what you did. You dug yourself a hole. This is Sirach 21:8. He that builded his house with other man's money is like one that gathered himself stones for the tomb of his burial, man. How do you build your house with other man's money? A mortgage, man. You don't literally build a house with other man's money. You just buy a house with other man's money, man. All right. So this is admonishment to brothers to lighten the affliction, man. Don't get caught up into the debt system, man. If you can't save your money and pay cash for it, i.e. a car, you don't need it, man. You will get a car note, and 3-4 years down the road, you struggling, you paying this car note, you'll find out how much they actually took off the balance of that car. It's a tip of the iceberg because you got the interest and the principal interest and all this BS that Esau creates to keep you in debt, man. That little money you saved up per month to pay that car note, you could save up money a fraction of that time and pay cash for a decent pre-owned vehicle, man. It ain't about being cute, man. We in captivity. We gotta maneuver through the matrix, man. All right. You can't see your car while you driving it, man. You can't see your house while you're inside of it, man. Just get you a nice little pad and get you a reliable pre-owned vehicle if the spirit willing, man. Now, if you got bread, you could do so, but be wise as a serpent, man. There's a old proverb saying, I think it's a Japanese saying, either Chinese or Japanese, but basically be wise as a serpent. Know thy enemy, know thyself. Know thy enemy, know the nature of your enemy. Your enemy is Esau, and one of his weapons is debt, man. That's how he keeps you in bondage. All right. So if you can pay cash for the things you need, do so, man. Because it's better to have $0 than have negative dollars, man. It's better to have no money than to owe money, man. All right. That's a hole you're living in. All right. So, with that, I hope you brothers are edified. I'm not trying to go just prolong it, man. But Esau set this system up for basically all Americans to be debt slaves, man. All right. You're forced to go to work, a corporate wage slave, man. That's why when you're 18, you could get qualified for a credit card. How can you get approved for something that you haven't showed the banks that you have the credibility to pay it off, whether it be a loan or whatever it may be, but your mom can't, man, because they know that you probably are a consumer and you following fads at 18, you're going to buy a little materialistic stuff just to get you in debt by the time you're 20, 21. All right. But with that, I hope you brothers are edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.